Okay, in this video we're going to have a quick summary of the preparation of salts. There's three methods that we need to remember that we've been looking at. So the first method kind of is split into two parts, part A, part B, and this is involving neutralization reactions, okay? And these neutralization reactions both produce soluble salts. So that just gives us something to think about, is how do we get the soluble salt back so it's pure and dry. So method one of the neutralization reactions, if we have an acid and an insoluble base, then what we can do, let's just cover this side over so we don't get too much. What we can do in a couple of steps is we are able to add the solid until the solid is in excess. That means it's completely neutralized the acid. So the base has neutralized the acid when it's been added. We then need to get rid of the excess base. So we would filter it to remove the unreacted base. And then that leaves us the salt inside the solution. So then we would evaporate to drive off the moisture, and we'd then leave that to crystallize to get the salt to form. Okay. Second option for neutralization is if we have a soluble base, which is an alkali. So here we had an insoluble base. Now we're going to look at soluble base, which is actually called an alkali. To do this, we have the titration method, and we would carry out the titration using an indicator to find the exact amount of acid that's needed to react and neutralize the alkali. Once we've done that and worked that out, we then repeat the titration, but this time we don't add any indicator. So there's nothing in there that's going to make the salt impure. We then got the salt and water. So we'd evaporate to get rid of the water, and then we'd crystallize just to form the salt in the final stage. So these two methods are using neutralization because they are producing soluble salts. The third method, okay, here is how we make a sample of a salt or a solid that is insoluble, okay? And this is where we use the precipitation reactions. So we mix the reactants together, allow them to react. They will produce an insoluble solid, the precipitate. We then need to filter to get rid of, to separate the solid from the rest of the solution. Then we just can wash this to remove any impurities, and then we'd leave it somewhere warm to dry, and that would then give us our insoluble solid that has been formed. So three methods. We really need to understand these methods, and as I said, when we'll go to practicals again just to make sure they're fresh and you can see what's going on.